Small and Opposite. Thank you so much for joining us today. Today we'll be looking at the topic how to know if you are ready for marriage or you are just ready for the sexual activities that comes with marriage. How do you know that you are ready for marriage as a whole or you are just ready for sex in the marriage? If you're yet subscribed to our YouTube channel, please kindly do so because we have a lot in stock for you. And we would like you to please give us a like, give us a comment, let us know your thoughts about this topic. So, quickly, I'm going to be talking about how to know if you are ready for marriage. One of the ways to know if you are ready for marriage is to ask yourself these objective questions. I mean, these objective questions. As a matter of fact, many people believe that, oh, once you are of age, what you need is marriage. Some people believe that, oh, once you are in your mid 20s, in your 30s, what you need to do next is to go get married. Some people also believe that, oh, maturity is in age. When you see that, oh, you are now physically built, you have maybe you have breast, you have bum, you have, as a man, you've got six pack. They believe that, oh, it's matured enough for marriage. So let's know how to determine or identify if you are ready for marriage as a young man or as a young woman. Now, one of the ways by which you will know that you are ready for marriage is to ask yourself an objective question, such as, are you the patient type? Are you patient enough? Why is because, see, marriage is union between you and someone who didn't grow up with you. I mean, two different people from two different backgrounds. So you're going to be doing a lot of learning, understanding the person, and it will take patience. It will require patience. So are you the patient type? Are you patient enough to understand the other person, to see things from the other person's perspective, or you only want to know, or you only want to get your own point down their throat? Are you the patient type? Another question you need to ask yourself is, are you the type that can put your anger under control? Are you the type that can put your anger under control? Because I tell you, all those lovey-dovey things will soon fade away by the time you start going into the third, fourth, fifth year. By by the fifth year, actually, by third year, some reality starts setting in. You will know if this person truly love you or not. And when all those lovey-dovey things are faded off, I tell you, some issues will arise that will get you angry. You will be so upset that, you mean after we've lived together and courted even for some years, before we live together for 2 to 3 years now, you still don't know these things, you still don't understand these things. I mean, a lot of things will happen. That man you think you knew before you got married to him will do some things that you'll be like, what? That woman you thought you knew, may do some things that you'll be like, what? And when that happens, are you able to put your anger under control? Because you will so much get angry that at times you feel like eating something at them. And if you do that, I tell you, you may end up losing that spouse. Because, see, some persons have lost good spouses to domestic violence, to the fact that they are unable to put their anger under control. When you cannot put your anger under control, I tell you, you're going to be spoiling a lot of things that you should have resolved amicably by talking about it through communication. You took to physical assault, and as a result the person felt, well, I don't think I want to remain in this kind of marriage where I'll be physically abused. And before you know it, you will lose a precious thing to anger, because you couldn't keep your anger under control. And that reminds me too, aside from you being able to keep your anger under control, are you also able to keep your words under control when you are angry? Because, see, marriage is such a long term journey that a lot will happen that you will say some things at times to your spouse and they will be like, what? If you are saying this, then it tells me what your heart is thinking about me, and that spouse may begin to think that, well, maybe you don't love them anyway, so why can't they just, look elsewhere? Now, the things you say to your spouse also matter. When you are angry, what are the things you say to them? Some people, when they are angry, they abuse that spouse, they abuse that spouse father, the spouse mother, the spouse brother, siblings, abuse them to their great grandfather's generation. If you are that type, please, you are not ready for marriage. Another reason, another point, or how to know if you are ready for marriage is, are you the type that can work as a team? Can you work well as a team? Because see, marriage is teamwork. You don't know it all. It's teamwork. You don't know it all. So you are going to be doing a lot of decision making together with this person, and you are going to be taking decision on behalf of the family together. Are you able to work together as a team? See things together as a team, and use your power of synergy to produce results. See, when scripture says that two are better than one, it's because they have a reward for their labor. Now, a reward for their labor, not a reward for their play or a reward for their idleness. No, it's a reward for their labor, which means that each person in the team, each person is laboring. They are both laboring. Not that one person is idle, the other person is laboring. No. To work as a team, that means you are playing your part to make the marriage work, and the other person too is playing his or her part to make the marriage work. Now, if you are unable to work as a team, well, as a team, I tell you, you're going to struggle in marriage, because that means you would work alone. Despite the fact that you are married, you will be feeling lonely and still single in that marriage. So are you the type that can work as a team? Another point is that, are you the type that can advance the cause of the other person's life? So what I mean is, are you the type that can make their dreams happen, their vision happen, make that guy's vision materialize, or make that lady's vision materialize, if they have any anyway? Because see, if when you met them, they were doing well, they had dreams in their heart, they had vision that they were pursuing, and after they met you, those dreams died, the vision were buried. You did everything to stifle all the ambition, the opportunities for growth. You cut it off, and they look back and they are like, what? I feel worse off now that I'm married than when I was single. Then I tell you, you are not the type that should have gone into marriage, because see, two must be better than one. You must know how to make that person's goals, that person's ambition, their drive, whatever it is they aspire for. You must know how to work with them, how to encourage them to bring it to reality. You must not be a dream killer. You must not be a vision killer, whether you're a man or a woman. Because I see some people, immediately they get married, they suspend all their goals. I mean, their career goals, even their spiritual development goals, their personal development goals. They suspend everything for the sexual activities in the marriage, and before you know it, babies start coming. And when babies come, they can't even think of any other thing, because they weren't really prepared, for all those things. So can you advance the cause of the other person's life? Can you help them bring to birth their vision, their dreams, their life aspiration? Ask yourself that question. If you are the type that you don't know how to help another person birth their vision, grow their vision, work with them to see their vision become materialized, please, marriage is not for you yet. You need to still stay. I mean, the way they put people in reserve and say, be watching those in on the field and learn from them. you are still a learner. You still need to sit down and learn as much as you can. Another thing is that, are you the type that is financially independent? See, let me tell you something. As much as we all pray, we all hope that, oh, when I go into marriage, all my needs will be met, all my expectations will be met. I tell you, when you get in there, reality will be setting. And reality has told many people, many married people, that see, your expectation at times is not the same with the reality. Now, that doesn't mean there will be a wide variance or a wide deviation, but because life happens, things happen in life, and we may say, oh, the man must provide for all my needs, and along the line the man loses his job. Now if that happens, what do you do? Now if you are not financially independent as an individual adult, I tell you, you will struggle and you will not know how to manage the home, with that little resources that you have. You must have financial, you must be financially literate, you must have financial knowledge, you must know how to manage resources, you must know even how to earn. Hey, because see, marriage itself is a lot of work, it's huge responsibility, because especially when children start to come, you will have more and more bills to pay. And the honest truth is, if you live your life as though, oh, one person will always provide everything for me, then you will be deceiving yourself, because very soon you will be shocked. You will be in shock that you will ask yourself, how did I find myself here? But if you are the type that have developed yourself over the years to be financially independent and to earn, then all these things will not be a surprise to you if life happens. So for example, even a child could fall sick, and the money you didn't expect you were going to spend, you have to spend it. Now if you are not financially buoyant, how do you intend to make up for that bill, for those unexpected contingencies? Now another point is, are you the type that is able to bend over backward? Are you the type that can say, ah, now that in this marriage, reality is telling me that my spouse alone cannot do everything alone. He can't fend for us alone. She can't do all this work alone. Can I take a step back and, and compromise and say, see, let me help them out. Let me meet them halfway. Let me fill in the gap. Let me fill in their space for them. Let me cover for them. Let me cover that weakness for them. Now, or whatever shortfall, are you the type that can say, let me, are you magnanimous enough at heart to say, let me cover for him, let me cover for her? And see, in marriage, if anyone tells you that it's going to be rosy, that would be a big lie. Because see, because we are doing marriage on earth, and the earth itself is full of challenges, life itself is full of ups and downs. So definitely, because your marriage is operated on earth, that ups and downs will impact your marriage. Yeah, it will impact your marriage. So are you yourself prepared for life? Do you yourself understand life? Because why you are going into that marriage is because you have needs that that should be met, or needs that you want to be met. See, to normally, if you work alone, you may not achieve much. But when you work with someone whom you share the same goals with, the same life aspiration, whom both of you have decided to face life together, then you will move further. That is if you marry or journey with the right person. But when you journey with the wrong person, I tell you, you will be worse than when you were single. So marriage, for some people, the concept of marriage for some people is, oh, free sex. So they are prepared for the sexual activity. They know how to do all the styles, they've watched enough pornographic movies or pornographic films. They know how to do that aspect very well. But the financial aspect, they are zero. In life aspect itself, zero. The content of their character, they are zero. They've not developed self. And these are the type of people that will now go into marriage and pose a problem to that spouse, pose a problem to their in-laws, pose a problem to their home parents, pose a problem to society at large. Why? Because all their focus, all their energy have been on the sexual aspect of marriage alone. And little wonder we have, you know, divorce springing up here and there, because people thought that what makes me ready for marriage is father. Oh, I'm now in my 30s. Oh, I'm in my late 20s. So marriage should be the next thing. No. Um, 2 days ago or yesterday, I had a visitor and we were talking, and she was explaining to me how our younger sisters who are in their mid 30s to late 30s, are yet to get married. And she was explaining how these sisters of hers could not help her to even wash her kids' bum bum whenever she's not around, and she has to go and drop those kids with them. Don't forget, these ladies are in their mid 30s towards 40, and they are still single and searching. They've not found someone yet. And these elder sisters of theirs has kids, so maybe when she has a journey to go on, she will go drop these kids with her younger sisters who are yet to be married. And when they poo, they cannot help to to clean the bum bum of those kids. I was like, what? To change diaper, they can't do it well. Even to make meal for them, they can't do it. Then she was explaining that each time she tells them that, see, you guys are trusting God for marriage, but you can't do little basic things that marriage entails. Or when you get married, you don't know that when children start to come, you must know how to make diaper. They can't clean the house. They must get someone to help them do everything. Now the truth is, even if you have all the money to afford someone to help you do everything, because you don't know yet whom you are going to get married to, you don't know if they too will have all the resources, all the means to afford someone to take care of everything, and you don't even know what will happen in future. Is it not good for you to start learning how to do those things now? And when you see these ladies, they are moving from one mountain to the other, praying for husband, praying for husband, praying for husband. Meanwhile, the basic things that they need to fix in themselves, the things they need to know, even their own character, they are yet to pay attention to those character development. They've not sorted that out. They've not fixed that. At times when you hear them abuse a man that is asking them out, you will be wondering. You'll be like, this one, you are so ugly. I can't even allow people to see you with me. So you've not developed character, and you are disturbing God day and night. I must marry. I must marry. I must marry. Why should God listen to you? And these are the kind of people that when they force their way through to marriage, they end up, being a liability to the man or to the woman. So ask yourself, am I ready for marriage? Because a marriage is work, and it's hard work. It's a lot of work. Marriage is not just sexual activity. And even in the sexual aspect, some people are still lacking. Still hear some husbands complaining, my wife is denying me of sex. We still hear some women complaining, my wife is denying me of sex. Now, when that happens, when you have a spouse that is unable to meet your needs, what should you be doing? Is it time for you to run out and say, oh, I'm just going to meet that need outside anyway? Maybe you need to first of all check, okay, in what areas are they able to meet your need, and be grateful for those needs that they are able to meet. Then the ones they are not able to meet, you may want to sit them down. Let's communicate about it. and let's look for a way forward. Unless you are telling us that, oh, they are not reasonable people, then you may want to um, you may want to think again what you have gotten yourself into. And that takes me to the last point. See, marriage is not for two matured adults alone. I always say that marriage is for two reasonable adults. He or she has to be reasonable. See, if they are not reasonable, then I tell you, you're going to fight, you're going to struggle through that marriage, because an unreasonable person cannot see things from your own point of view. An unreasonable person will not lend you a helping hand. They will see you doing everything. They will not be able to say, their conscience will not be able to tell them that, hey, let me even give a helping hand to this woman or to this man. A reasonable person will look at it like, this person is an equal adult like myself, and he or she is going out to fend for the home. So why can't I also do something to augment their efforts, to complement their efforts and help to sort out all these bills? You must marry someone who is reasonable. When you are unreasonable, then marriage is not for you. Please don't start thinking of marriage just because you feel, oh, you have all the physical attribute or what it takes physically to get married. No, 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 no. Think of marriage when you are sure you understand life itself. Life is full of up and down, and that in life there are times and seasons. If you don't understand this thing, if your husband loses his job, you will start running after other men because you think that loss of job means a permanent situation. You won't understand the fact that, oh, he doesn't have job today, he may have tomorrow, or he may own companies tomorrow. Or maybe because your spouse is sick, you begin to run out there, forgetting that, hey, they are just sick today, it's a temporary thing, they may become well tomorrow. Do you understand time and season? Have you developed character? Are you the selfish type? If you are the selfish type, marriage is not for you. Can you work together as a team? Can you help can you fan the flame of the other person? Can you help them to accomplish their goals in life, their vision, their aspiration? Can you help to bring it to reality? Or you are the type that you are a destiny killer, vision killer, you kill it. You make sure that they don't amount to anything, and they will begin to ask themselves, how did I get myself to this point? If you are an addict that gambles, that is into masturbation, pornography, see, you can't hold anything together. You have no business going into marriage, because see, that weakness you have cannot support marriage. Though you have a bad trait that cannot support marriage, so your people should not push you into marriage, because marriage is not what you need. What you need is to go fix your character, to go clean up yourself from those addictions, whether it's drugs, whether it's masturbation, whether it's gambling, whatever addiction you are battling with. Please, marriage is not for you. Stay away from marriage. And if you are the type that um, you cannot leave father and mother, if you are the type that you are still mommy's handbag, daddy's handbag, you cannot leave them. Every little thing you run to them. You can't take decision on your own. You can't live to cleave to your spouse. Please, marriage is not for you. You still need a lot of patience. You still need to wait for you to be matured, for you to understand life and understand the concept of marriage before you go into it, so that you don't go into it and create problem for an innocent man or an innocent woman, and create problem for innocent children and your parents and your in-laws and the society at large. I'd like to stop here now. I hope I've said a lot. Please don't forget to give us a like, give us a comment, share this video. Let's know your thoughts in the comment section. If you are yet to subscribe to our YouTube channel, kindly do so. We look forward to the program we'll be having next week Saturday. Please don't forget to join us for this program. It promises to be very insightful and educative. Till we meet again, I remain your host, Malaya, and over to you, and I say